Alright, so we have talked about two different forms of equations so far. We've talked about slope-intercept, which is our y equals mx plus b, and we've talked about point slope, y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. Now, today we're going to talk about the third form, and that third form is standard form. Standard form is much more real life. It is written as ax, capital A, capital BY is equal to capital C. And I want you to realize that again, just like all the others, the x and y stay x and y. We're going to put numbers in place of A, B, and C. Now, special rules about standard form. A, B, and C must be integers. Okay, that means we can have no fractions in this format. Also, A and B cannot be 0, because if we have 0 times something, we get 0. It messes up everything. So I want to show you how we can utilize this. So I'm going to give you a slope of negative 7 over 2 and a point of negative 5, 2. We need to get to standard form. So what that means is we got to first start with point slope, because that's what we've been given, which we can totally do because we've just practiced that. So I'm going to say y minus y1 is 2 is equal to negative 7 over 2 times the quantity of x plus 5. Now remember, in standard form, the x and the y are on the same side. Well, I can go ahead and I can do my same pattern as before. So we're going to move our y1. Okay, so I'm going to add 2. So I've got y is equal to negative 7 minus 2, x plus 5 plus 2. We're going to distribute. So y equals negative 7 over 2x minus 35 over 2 plus 2. I'm going to leave that with a fraction for now. I need to get my x's on the same side as the y, so I'm going to add 7 over 2x. So I have 7 over 2x plus y is equal to, I can change this to 4 over 2, negative 31 over 2. So my x and y is on the same side. I've got a regular number by itself, but I want you to notice there's a fraction there. We said we cannot have fractions. Well, we've talked about how to get rid of a fraction. We're going to multiply by that common denominator on everything. So we get 7x plus 2y equals negative 31. And there is your standard form answer. We're going to try one more of these. I'm going to tell you that the slope is negative 3 and the coordinate is 2, 6. So again, y minus 6 is equal to negative 3 times the quantity of x minus 2. I'm going to move my y, move y1. I'm going to distribute. Negative 3x plus 6 plus 6. I'm going to move my x by adding it. 3x plus y, and I'm going to collect my like terms, equals 12. This is my standard form equation. So maybe Mrs. Ray bought 3 of one candy and 1 of another, and I spent $12. That is some expensive candy. So we can do the same thing when we're given only 2 points. So if I gave you 6 and -4 and -8 and 6, well, we still just have to find our slope first. 6 minus a -4, -8 minus 6. 10 over -14 is -5/7. And now we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to choose this first coordinate, y plus 4, -5/7, x minus 6. I'm going to move my 4. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to leave that 30/7 minus 4. I'm going to move my y over. Remember, it's okay that there's a fraction there for now. Plus y. I know that this is 28/7, so I'm going to say 2 7s there because that was a negative. And now to undo that fraction, I'm going to multiply by the common denominator, 5x plus 7y equals 2. So I have one for you to try. And then on Monday, we'll talk about it. So if I gave you the points, -3, +10, and -13, -6, I would like you to write in standard form. So follow those steps we just wrote.